Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Vienna and today I'm going to show you my self-soothe kit, which is one of my most important tools for managing my anxiety, panic attacks, and PTSD. If you're someone who struggles with anxiety, panic attacks, sensory issues, meltdowns, or anything that causes you to experience intense emotions, you'll definitely want to stick around and watch this video to learn about the self-soothe skills and how you can build a self-soothe kit of your own. Just a disclaimer, I'm not a therapist, I'm not a doctor, I'm just a girl with anxiety, sharing what helps me. This has been one of the most important tools for managing my anxiety and helping me go out and do things and just live my life. Pretty much anybody can benefit from having a self-soothe kit, even if you don't necessarily have a disorder. But especially if you have any kind of mental health disorder, I think a self-soothe kit is something that almost everybody can benefit from in some way. So self-soothe is a DBT skill, and DBT is dialectical behavioral therapy. I have found DBT to be the most helpful form of therapy for me personally, for dealing with my panic disorder, depression, and all sorts of other things, especially interpersonal stuff. I love DBT, it's amazing. Definitely look it up if you've never heard of it before. I struggled to find therapy helpful for a really long time. And when I did DBT for the first time, I was like, wow, this is really helpful. I've been doing DBT therapy ever since then. DBT has groups of different skills. Self-soothe is one of the distress tolerance skills, and it's one of the skills that I use pretty much every single day. And I find it to be one of the easier skills to use, and it's also very enjoyable to use the self-soothe skills. The self-soothe skills focus on soothing each of the 5 senses and engaging your attention into those senses. So we have taste, sight, smell, touch, and sound. This is the DBT manual. This is what I use with my therapist in my sessions, and I also use this in group therapy because I'm currently in a DBT group. It's a big old chunky notebook, workbook, and it has all the DBT skills and homeworks for each skill, because when you're in DBT group, you do homework. So I have the self-soothe page right here, and it has tons of different ideas for how you can use self-soothe. Starts off with a vision, so it just gives a bunch of suggestions of things that you can do to soothe your vision. Some of these involve like looking at nature, looking at the sunset, light a candle, watch the flame, take a walk through the park, go people watching or window shopping is one of the suggestions. Then we have hearing. The first one is great, listening to soothing music. That's something that I use a lot. Also, singing your favorite songs is on here. That's something that you could do to help soothe your senses. Hearing. This one gives away how dated this manual is. Burn a CD or make an iPod mix with music that will get you through tough times. Turn it on. Just anything that involves soothing your hearing sense and engaging you into sounds. Then there's smell. So there's a bunch of different suggestions for smell. You can smell the roses or just like smell flowers or something. Open the window, smell the fresh air. Burn incense or light a scented candle. That's one that I do a lot. I just love candles, especially candles that smell like baked goods or vanilla. Oh, I just love those types of candles. Use your favorite soap, body wash, aftershave, or try them on in the store. So you can go to the store and start trying on some perfumes and stuff. I feel like that could be a little overstimulating. Depends on your personal sensory profile. Sit in a new car and breathe in the aroma. So if you have access to a new car, you can self-soothe by sitting in a new car and inhaling that new car smell. Open a package of coffee and inhale the aroma. That actually sounds kind of nice because I love the smell of coffee. Put lemon oil on your furniture. Then we have taste. The first one is eat some of your favorite food. That's a great way to use self-soothe with taste. I know that when I'm not feeling well, I have a really low appetite when I'm feeling really depressed or super anxious and stressed. But as soon as I get a bite of one of my favorite foods, it doesn't fix everything, but it does help. So just having some of your favorite foods accessible to you can be a really helpful way to help soothe yourself when you're not feeling well. Treat yourself to a dessert. That's something that I always like to do. Eat macaroni and cheese or another childhood favorite. That one's really nice because engaging your sense of taste, but then it's also giving you some nostalgia for like better times. And I know everybody has foods that make them feel really nostalgic. I used to love the Pokemon mac and cheese. I'm a vegan now, so I don't eat regular mac and cheese, and then I have celiac disease, so I can't have the noodles. But I used to love Pokemon mac and cheese. And Blue's Clues, they had the little blue pasta noodles. So I'm a big fan of mac and cheese. I make vegan mac and cheese now. It's one of my comfort foods. So if you have a comfort food, that's a great way to self-soothe. This is one of my favorite ones, is chewing gum. I always have gum on me because gum not only engages your sense of taste, and the mintiness is kind of refreshing and maybe even a little shocking, but also the chewing too. It just gives me something to do with my jaw instead of clenching it when I'm anxious. I love using gum. Also, sour candy is really good too because it shocks your system. And when I go through my self-soothe kit, I'll show you all the stuff that I have in there because I have a lot of things that are on this list in there. And then finally, we have touch. This one's always been a little hard for me to integrate because I am very sensitive to touch. I have a lot of sensory issues with touch, like my skin is really sensitive and I just get really uncomfortable easily. So it's been hard for me to find a way to use self-soothe with touch, but there are some suggestions on here. Take a long hot bath or shower. That's something that could be really nice. I find that soothing. Pet your dog or cat. I always self-soothe with touch by cuddling my cats. It's a combination of the soothing feeling of their purring and the sound, and then petting their fur. Hug someone. This is not for everybody. Not everybody likes being hugged. I like being hugged, but when I'm really anxious, I like to be squeezed. Sometimes I'm like I said before, I'm very sensitive to being touched. My skin gets very overstimulated easily, but a nice deep pressure therapy hug really helps me. So when I'm anxious and I'm with my partner, sometimes I'll ask him to just squeeze me and he'll wrap his arms around me and just hold me really tight, and that helps me. That could be something that helps you, but if you feel uncomfortable with hugs, don't do hugs because everyone's different. It's all about finding what works for you. There's no shame if something doesn't work for you. That's totally fine. There's a bunch of other options. This one's really good. This kind of combines scent as well, putting on a nice creamy lotion on your body, something that feels really moisturizing on your skin, but also smells really nice, so it engages your sense of smell as well. Put on a blouse or shirt that has a pleasant feel. Now, I don't know about you, but when I want to feel comfortable, I'm not putting on a blouse. I'm putting on a sweatshirt and sweatpants. But again, everyone's different, so some people might feel comfortable putting on something like that. But one of the ways that I like to self-soothe with touch is changing into something that's much more comfortable. And typically that is a sweatshirt and sweatpants, oversized. It just feels like my skin can breathe a little bit more and it's nice and soft. And it's one of my favorite things to do when I'm anxious and I'm home and I'm able to. Sometimes I'll take a shower and then change into comfortable clothing, and sometimes it makes a big difference. Another thing that I do with touch, and it's one of my favorite methods for helping my anxiety, is using an ice pack. This is actually part of another DBT skill called TIP, and it's the T for temperature. Using an ice pack and giving that cooling sensation does help with my anxiety. It's one of my favorite things to do. I find it really helpful. So if you've never tried using ice before or cold temperatures to help cope with anxiety or stress or overstimulation, I highly recommend giving that a try. Okay, so those were just some ideas from the DBT manual, and now I'm going to show you my self-soothe kit. I actually have multiple self-soothe kits. You do not have to have multiple. The reason why I have more than one is because I am forgetful and I like to have one stationed in places that I know I'll need them. So I have one for my backpack, which is this one, and it's jam-packed as you can see. I have one for home, which is this one. So I keep this one in my bedroom. This one I keep in the car, although typically when I'm in the car, I kind of just end up using this one because I have my backpack with me. But just in case, I always keep this one in my car, and this one is also jam-packed with stuff. And then I also have this other one that I keep in my car. It's just a little mini bag. This one I keep right in the front by the cup holder, so it's easier to access. Or this one I keep in the back seat because it's a little bit bigger and there's a couple things in it. So if I really need more, I'll grab this one. Come here, Poe, do you want to be a self-soothe? Come here, Poe, do you want to help self-soothe? This is one of my self-soothe items, Poe. He is the best. Oh, his foot is in my shirt. He is one of the best little self-soothe things ever because, oh, and he's leaving again. But he loves to cuddle and he purrs and he's just so sweet. Right, Poe, you're very soothing? Not right now. He's off the clock right now, so he's not wanting to do his self-soothing. But anyways, first I'll show you my self-soothe kit that I keep in my backpack. This one is a little small, so it's pretty jam-packed. But first I have a little bag where I put taste stuff in here. So I have a pack of gum. I have these super sour candies. And I also have Listerine strips. I've always heard about the super sour candy trick, but I hate sour things, so I never wanted to try it. But recently, I was with my friend, and we were walking around the city, and I was having really bad anxiety and a panic attack. She asked me if I wanted to try a warhead, and I was like, sure, I'll try it. I swear it helped. It really just, it tasted nasty because it was so sour, and it just shocked my system. I think it really did help snap me out of that intensely panicked state. Since then, I got some of these and they don't taste great at first, but they do the trick. They really do shock me out of that state sometimes, most of the time. And then the sourness does wear away and then it tastes like a nice sweet lemonade flavor. It's like a little reward for getting through the anxiety. I love this stuff. Oh, the back has a hole in it, but it's fine. Okay, this is for touch, I guess. This is just a little face spray. I love this face spray, by the way, the Tower 28 SOS Daily Rescue Facial Spray. So I got a mini of it and I just like spritz my face with it if I'm feeling anxious. It just gives a nice cooling feeling and it's very refreshing. And I just fan my face, it cools down my face and it just helps me feel a little bit less panicked. It just cools me down and it also gives me something to do with my hands. I find that moving and stimming my hands can help me calm down a little bit. So I just fan my face. This really helps me a lot. I love this stuff. It's great. But honestly, you can get any kind of face spray. It doesn't have to be this. I just find it is very refreshing and it helps me feel a little bit more grounded with the feeling of coolness on my face. Then I have a couple of things in here for touch. These are knockoff calm strips. Calm strips are little textured stickers that you can put on things. And supposedly, as you rub your fingers along them, it's supposed to stimulate the nerves in your fingers in a way that supposedly sends calming signals to your brain. I usually put them on my phone, but after a while, they kind of come off the phone after a few weeks. But I got a pack of a bunch of them. So I just put a couple in each self-soothe kit. If I want to just play with them like this or stick them on something, I have them available to me. I have a couple of other little touch-related items. This is a little, I think it's quartz. It's just a cute little cloud. I got this at a little shop in Beacon, New York. I saw this and I thought it was the cutest little thing. I think it was like $12. And I got one and then my friend got a green one. I don't know if you can see, but it has a little Pikachu mouth carved into it, which I think is adorable. It just always feels nice and cold, so sometimes I'll put it on my face or neck, or I'll just fiddle with it in my hand. My eyes stick out, so that's a nice texture to rub my fingers on as well. I just love it. It's really cute. It's just something to fiddle with and play with in my hand. These are not necessarily self-soothe things, but sometimes when I'm anxious, I get nauseous. So I have these little C-bands in here. I hope they zoom in. These you put on your wrists at this pressure point. These are supposed to help with nausea, so I keep these in my self-soothe kit in case I need them. Okay, the next thing I'm going to talk about is hearing. I have a couple different things in my self-soothe kit for hearing. Loop earplugs. This is just one of the earplugs. I am obsessed with these. I've been using loop earplugs for a couple of years now, and I have about 3 or 4 pairs of them. They're comfortable to place in your ear. I've always hated those foam or moldable sticky types of earplugs. I just find them so uncomfortable. where these, you put them in and they just feel like you have earbuds in. And they do help soften the noise quite a bit. You still can hear things, but it just reduces the intensity of sound. I am extremely sensitive to sound. It's one of my biggest sensory triggers. I wear these earplugs pretty much everywhere I go in public, grocery store, parties, barbecues, restaurants. I always have these with me, and I have them in every single bag. They're amazing. I love them. I can't recommend them enough. Highly recommend them. But you can also just use normal earplugs. I don't like the feeling of the foam earplugs, but if you are okay with those, having earplugs in a self-soothe kit is really good for helping reduce sensory overload, especially if you're like me and you're sensitive to sound. I also have these good old-fashioned iPhone earplugs. I do have my AirPods in my backpack pretty much at all times, but sometimes they die. So having these, if I want to listen to something calming, soothing, perhaps like meditation or just some calming music to distract me and help me feel a little bit. These are great because they don't need batteries. They don't need to be charged. So I put these in my self-soothe kit, and I think this is a really good backup for the AirPod. If you have earplugs with a wire, great to put in a self-soothe kit for sound. I have quite a few things for smell. I'm a big fan of using smell for self-soothe. It's one of the best things to calm me down, aside from the ice pack and using earplugs. I have a few different scented items in this self-soothe kit. I have 2 perfume oils that smell amazing. My favorite scents. This one's vanilla. Oh my gosh, it smells so good. I love vanilla. It's my favorite smell. This one, I don't know exactly what this one is supposed to smell like, but it smells really good. So I keep these in my self-soothe kit, and sometimes I'll rub them on myself so the smell lingers. And then I have these 2 things as well. They're nasal inhalers. One of them is lavender and the other one is peppermint, or it says breathe easy. So I think it's a mix of peppermint and some other oils. This says to stick it in your nostril, which kind of scares me a little bit. So sometimes I just hold it near my nostril. It's very strong. And this one smells like lavender. It has lavender essential oil in it, which apparently breathing in lavender through your nose crosses the blood-brain barrier and can help relieve anxiety. Lavender is just a soothing scent in general, but that's a very fun fact that gives lavender some more credibility. So these are great. I always have these with me. This one is just a little bit different smell. It's very minty, so it's kind of like a woo, very invigorating, kind of shock. This is good if you have a sinus issue. I have a lot of sinus issues. This is good for that. I already feel like my sinuses are clearing just from breathing that in. I always have a lip balm with me in my self-soothe kit. I think this one counts as both touch and smell. It's just lip balm. This is my Curology vanilla lip balm. It smells delicious. I love vanilla. Like I said before, it's my favorite smell. And a lot of times my lips get dry, especially when I'm anxious. My mouth gets super dry. So just having a lip balm is nice because it just soothes my chapped lips. And it also smells really nice, which is good too. Oh, I have another smell one. This is a lavender balm. Just a lavender scented balm. You don't need to have all these items in here. I just love smell. You can just have one for each sense. I just like to have options because sometimes the same things don't always work as effectively for me as they do other times. So I like to have some options, and I also like to have a lot of scents. Okay, now I'm gonna go through my car self-soothe kit. This one is bigger and heavier. I put a lot of stuff in here. So in my backpack self-soothe kit, I cannot fit anything else in here. I love having ice packs. These instant ice packs are amazing because you squeeze them, they're instantly cold, and cold helps with my anxiety a lot. So I bring these everywhere. Because they don't fit in this bag, I keep a few of these in my backpack. And in the car, I have a couple of these in this car self-soothe kit, but I also have the whole box. I have really severe anxiety in the car, both with driving and riding as a passenger on the highway. I use a lot of ice packs in the car, so I just keep the whole box in there. I just have some more calm strips in here, so I put these in every bag. This thing is awesome. I love this Nido cube. It's just like a squishy stress ball. I just love the way that it feels. It's amazing. I had another one of these and then I dropped it in the litter box. And I didn't want to use it anymore because of that, so I got a new one. And I really like how when it's a little bit colder, it's firmer and harder to squish. Sometimes if it's freezing, it's like rock hard, so I really have to push to squeeze it, and that kind of helps tense my muscles, which can help with anxiety. When it's warmer, it gets really liquidy and a little bit harder to squeeze, but I just love this. This is a great squeezing, fidgeting type of toy. I also have a little stress ball in there. This is just a little stress ball. I love squeezing a stress ball when I'm anxious. This is great. I keep a stress ball in my backpack too because, again, it's not gonna fit in here. It's too jam-packed. Just have some more lemon candies. I have a pack of Listerine strips in here, and then I have some lip balm. I do need to put a package of gum in here because I need to have gum in every self-soothe kit because gum is very important to me. This is just another this is like one of those little popper things. So sometimes when I'm in the car, mainly as a passenger, I'll just play with this. This I love. This is kinetic sand. This is one of my favorite things ever. It's sand that sticks together and then you can stretch it apart and it just feels lovely to play with and it's so much fun. I keep this in the car because it's such a great distraction and I really like using this when I'm anxious. I can't fit this in the other self-soothe kit, so I just keep it in the car one because this bag is fairly large. This stuff is great. I love it. And it comes in different colors too. I just have the normal sand color, but it comes in all sorts of fun colors, which is very exciting. For touch in my car self-soothe kit, I just have some little crystals. I'm not really like a big crystal girly, but my mom is, so she's always giving me crystals. And I just like them because they feel special. And I just like to hold them in my hand. They feel nice and cool and a nice experience just rolling them around in my hand. So this is good for touch. I didn't really know what to put in my self-soothe kit for vision for any of these things, to be honest. I have this card that says "You are beautiful." It's just nice to look at, but for vision, I don't have too many things. Typically, I'll just use my environment by focusing on something that's nice around me and really observing it, or sometimes I'll look at pictures on my phone of my pets or my partner, things that bring me joy. That's mainly how I use vision. Okay, so I'm gonna show you my little mini self-soothe kit that I keep in the car. You might have noticed that in the one I just showed you, there was no smell stuff. That's in here. So I have a little lavender essential oil that I just smell when I'm driving and I'm really anxious, and it helps a lot. This is mainly what I use for smell in the car. And then I also have another one of these little inhalers. This one's for nausea specifically. It smells like a little citrusy and minty, and it's just another thing that I can use for smelling and distracting myself. And also it helps with nausea. So I'm nauseous when I'm anxious a lot, so this is great. You already know I have some more lemon candies in here. Gotta have them for easy access for when I'm in the midst of a panic attack, so I keep them in this little bag. Oh, this is where I put the gum. So the gum I just keep in this bag up in the front seat with me, so it's easy access. Always gotta have gum with me. And then I have some more Listerine strips and then some more con strips. This little bag has the most important self-soothe stuff that I might use when I'm driving. This one has stuff that I will likely use when I'm a passenger. Okay, finally I'm gonna go through my home self-soothe kit. This one I just keep in a basket in my bedside, and it has a bunch of similar items, but some different ones as well. The biggest one on the top is this fidget toy. I think this is called the Worm. It's very fun to fidget with. Got some more ice packs in there. This is a little cloth blanket that my mom gave me. I think somebody made this at her church, but it's just like a little soft blanket that I like to touch sometimes. This is really nice for touch for me. Have some more loop earplugs. Always gotta have these around in every bag. This one is another scented perfume oil roll-on, and it smells so good. So this one I like to have near me, especially at nighttime. I get anxious a lot in bed when I'm trying to sleep, so having this nearby to smell is really nice. This one I actually have pictures in because this bag is fairly large, so I can fit more in it. Also, it says, "Hello, I'm probably anxious," which is pretty accurate. I just have pictures of my boyfriend and I, these are photo booth pictures from weddings that we've been to. We've been to a lot of weddings, so we have a lot of these pictures from different weddings. I have this little lavender satchel. It just smells really good. So this is one of my scent things. Again, this is kind of big, so I keep this at home. More gum, more Listerine strips, and more lemon candy. I actually have Luden's cough drops in here too. I love Luden's cough drops as a candy. When I have a sore throat, honestly, I don't feel like it really does anything for me, but I love the taste of it, so I have them in here. Then I have some lip mask or lip balm. This one's from Trader Joe's. It's like $5. It's vanilla scented and it's so good. I love it so much, so I keep this in my self-soothe kit. Then I have this little Lush vanilla perfume balm. It's just another scented item that smells very pleasant to me. Actually, doesn't really smell like vanilla. I think that's why it's totally full. It doesn't smell bad. It just doesn't smell like vanilla. It smells kind of like bread. It's called Vanillary from Lush. I don't know why it smells like that, but whatever. It's fine. It doesn't smell like vanilla though. Then I have some more calm strip. And then finally, I just have this little sack that has this stone in it that my aunt got me. It says, "It's okay to not be okay." I really like this because it's a message that really resonates with me. I struggle a lot with my mental health, and I have for the past 8 years. And I'm getting emotional because my aunt who gave this to me, she passed away recently. And I really miss her. She was one of my favorite people in the world. This is very sentimental to me, so having this is really nice. Like, the message is nice, but just knowing it was from her, and she didn't struggle with anxiety until the end, after everything that she went through. Even though she didn't struggle with anxiety and she never really had panic attacks, she was so incredibly empathetic towards me and really was just always there for me and never minimized my experience and my feelings. I think a lot of people have the experience of others minimizing anxiety and other issues because anxiety is normal, it's part of life. But obviously there's a certain level that's not normal, like disordered level. And I have become very used to people kind of minimizing that, where my aunt was somebody who really never made me feel that way. She always validated me even though she didn't experience it herself. And I'm super grateful to have known her. She was amazing. Sorry, I'm getting so emotional. She was the best. I really miss her, but she's always with me. So I wanted to put a picture of her in one of my self-soothe kits. I just have to make a copy of one because I don't want to accidentally ruin one of the printed pictures that we have from the old days when you bring the disposable camera to CVS and they print the pictures out. I have tons of pictures of her from those, so I'll have to print some pictures out on my phone and put some in my self-soothe kit to remind me of her and remind me that she's always with me. Yeah, she was the best. Sorry, I don't mean to get sappy and sad during this video, but seeing this just got me a little emotional. I know that was a lot of information to take in, so I hope it wasn't too overwhelming. But basically, if you struggle with anxiety, depression, PTSD, autism, ADHD, anything that causes you to feel overwhelmed and experience intense emotions that are really hard to calm down, building a self-soothe kit is something that could be incredibly helpful for you. I hope that I gave you some good ideas of things that you can put in a self-soothe kit of your own. Just remember that you do not need to have multiple self-soothe kits like I do. Just start with making one self-soothe kit, a small one that you can put in your bag or your purse and bring with you on the go, that's full of items that are soothing to you. Everyone's different. What soothes me might not soothe you and vice versa. So whatever works for you is what's best. Play around with different items, test things out, see what helps you the most. You don't need to have a million items in your self-soothe kit like I do. You can just keep it minimal and have 1%. That's all you really need. I just like to have options. So please don't feel like you need to make yours as big as mine. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Please like, subscribe, share with someone who may find this helpful. And check out my other videos. My channel is a wide variety of different things. Makeup, talking about mental health, productivity, gaming, tons of different stuff. If you'd like to leave a comment, I'd love to hear about what you find soothing and something that you would put in your self-soothe kit, or something that you have in your self-soothe kit if you already have one. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Hopefully see you next time. Bye.